Hey everybody, Ace Channel Liam here and welcome to another episode of MetroMania. MetroMania is an ongoing 16 Pokémon Metronome only double battle tournament to determine the MetroMania Champion, and this season is all about unevolved starter Pokémon. If you're a fan of MetroMania and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button, show you're enjoying this series, and of course hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss an episode. Now this week is Heat 6, we are so close to the quarterfinals, but there's just a little bit more to go. Before we get into this week's battles, let's have a look at how the brackets line up. Last week, in what can only be described as one of the best battles we've ever seen in Metromania history, Pikachu reigned triumphant against Snivy, although Snivy's second round, just the whole sequence between Shiny Snivy and regular Pikachu in that second round was absolutely incredible. If you haven't watched that episode yet, go back and watch it. It was absolutely amazing. I hope the battles moving on are as intense as that because it was just incredible. I've used the word absolutely about a million times because it was absolutely wonderful. Let's see if Heat 6 is going to live up to that. It's Litten taking on Torchic. It's now time for Litten versus Torchic, the battle of the fire types. No type advantages in this battle, but Litten is definitely pegged as a favorite by a lot of people because of this, because of the double intimidate at the start of every battle. There it is. Both Torchic are now at -2 attack from the get-go. You have to think this must give Litten an advantage. It just can't, you know what I mean? It can't not give Litten an advantage. That's what everyone's telling me. And then regular Litten's going to increase its defense as well, making it even more resistant to the physical attacks of Torchic. Here comes Shiny Litten with a heavy slam that will be resisted, and of course, Litten's not particularly heavy either, but it's still a little bit of chip damage to Torchic. Torchic needs to focus on special attacks right now, because to everybody that's saying, hey, Litten's Intimidate is going to be a major, tournament breaker, special attacks exist, guys. There you go. Speed boost, though, given to Litten. I don't know if that's a particularly safe idea, Torchic, but there you go. Got rid of Intimidate, though, for what it's worth. Here's Hyper Voice from Torchic. There you go. Special attacks. That's what Torchic needs to do. Doing a great amount of damage to both Litten there. So there we see speed boost from Litten, speed boost from Torchic, and then of course the speed boost from the other Torchic right there. So actually one of the Litten is going to be the slowest thing on the field before this battle's done, whereas the other one is going to keep up the pace. Roost coming out. I think it's a bit early for roosting Litten, but why not? Regular Litten goes for the roost, restores its HP back up to maximum, and what's Torchic going to do right here? Now that it's faster than the Shiny Litten, it's going to go for Swords Dance and increase its attack by 2 stages. That's smart. It's completely counteracted the Intimidates now, so that's a really smart play by regular Torchic there, as Shiny Torchic goes for Shadow Bone. That's going to be fantastic right there, except for that was a critical hit. That was incredible, even with the reduced attack. Of course, ignoring the stat changes right there with that critical hit, fantastic damage onto that Litten that had just restored itself to full HP. Guard split from Shiny Litten, and here comes the speed boost for regular Litten and both the Torchic right there, which we're going to see at the end of each of these battles here. So if Torchic goes through, we have to sit through 2 speed boosts every turn for 6 turns for every battle that it's subsequently in. So part of me kind of wants Litten to win. Here we go, Miracle Eye from Litten. Sorry, I meant to be impartial. Miracle Eye is going to identify Torchic right there. Isn't that wonderful? That means Torchic, the Dark type, can be hit with Psychic type moves, right? Great. Entrainment fails from Torchic, trying to swap Speed Boost onto that Litten that's already got Speed Boost now. Shiny Torchic goes for Sandstorm, so everyone's going to get buffeted by the Sandstorm. Risky play, but can give high reward, I guess, if the Litten team take a little bit more punishment than the Torchic team. The Sandstorm will finish them off. Fairy Wind is going to be resisted, of course. Fairy type moves resisted by Fire type Pokemon. So not a great deal of damage there. Everyone's going to get buffeted by the Sandstorm at the end of this turn. And then the 3 speed boosts are going to take effect. So sit back, relax, mash yourself a nice cup of tea because it's going to be a while. There's the speed boost. Wow, for something called speed boost, you're really slowing this battle down, guys. Come on. Jeez. There we go. Now we can have another turn. Isn't this wonderful? Live on Metromania. Oh boy. Here comes regular Litten, still the fastest little fucker on the field. Here comes a Scratch. onto the regular Torchic there. Not a great deal of damage. What is Torchic going to do here? I'm going to go for Lovely Kiss. Isn't that nice? Don't kiss it if on its sandy parts, if you know what I mean. Going to put the Shiny Litten to sleep, so that's going to be a sitting duck right now. No offense, Torchic. I know you're a chick. Here comes Shiny Torchic with a Dragon Rush avoided by Shiny Litten there. How do you avoid an attack when you're asleep? What is this? Was that just a really inaccurate... Maybe the sandstorm's affecting Shiny Torchic's eyes. Who knows? And there's the Buffet. Buffet number 2. Buffet number 3. And then dial it back to the front right-hand corner for Buffet number 4. Here's a speed boost. There's a speed boost. Everywhere's a speed boost. Wonderful. Here we go. Can you tell these turns are taking too long to transition because of all the things that are happening? Nobody poison anybody. Nobody use Aqua Ring, please. Nobody use Infestation. Oh, huge damage there onto Shiny Torchic. And here comes regular Torchic. Is it going to retaliate? Goes for Gear Grind. That's not a great move to use on a fire type. But Shiny Litten's asleep, so what can it do in response? Not a lot, to be honest. Not very effective. 2 hits. Of course, it's Gear Grind. It's what it does. Shiny Torchic getting ready to respond to the Litten's massive attack. Icicle Spear. Not going to do a great amount of damage there, to be honest. But will it get the full 5 hits? If it gets the full 5 hits, that'll be very, very helpful to the Torchic team right now and their onslaught. Not enough damage. Does get the 5 hits, though. Just not enough damage to significantly... That last one was a crit, though. To significantly harm the Shiny Litten. Although it is getting close to the danger zone, but it is fast asleep as well, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. There's more buffeting from the Sandstorm onto regular Litten, onto Shiny Torchic, onto regular Torchic, and then, of course, onto the Shiny Litten, who is super close to the danger zone here. Very, very close. Regular Litten speed's going to rise, Shiny Torchic speed's going to rise, and regular Torchic speed, believe it or not, is going to rise. Here we go. On to the next turn. What's going to happen here? Litten is getting ready. It's poised. What will it do? Ring Out. Okay, it's going to use Ring Out on that Shiny Torchic right there. Bringing it down into the red. So this is looking dangerous for the Shiny Torchic. What's Shiny Torchic going to do in response? Going to go for Stone Edge. Avoided. That's very lucky. That would have been super effective. Jeez Louise. Here comes regular Torchic with Sunny Day. Going to increase the power of fire type moves, I guess, for what it's worth. So those not very effective fire type moves, at least they'll have a little bit more spice to them. We got rid of the Sandstorm as well. Another side effect, of course, of the Sunny Day. So that was smart. Now your partner that's in the danger zone isn't going to get buffeted every turn, so that's fair. Not very effective hit there on the regular Torchic. Here come the speed boosts. At least we only have to sit through the speed boosts now. We don't have to sit through the buffets from the Sandstorm, unless somebody decides to call another one or call for some hail. You know what I mean? Oh boy. Regular Litten, what will you do here? What have you got in mind? Are you going to win the battle for your team? Going to go for Disarming Voice. It's not very effective, but it will hit both the Torchic here for a tiny little bit of chip damage. But it is looking better, I think, for the Litten team right now than it is the Torchic. And of course, this Torchic, Shiny Torchic, who's going to use Hammer Arm, still has reduced attack though. But it's just not quite enough to take down that shiny Litten right there. Drop speed one stage, but what does that matter when you've been speed boosting for like 5 turns? Memento coming out from regular Torchic. That's a risky play when your partner's in the red. Lowering the special attack and the attack harshly of that regular Litten, much like an Intimidate, but with special attack as well as a bonus. But at the expense of the life of the Torchic, that's not good there. So now it's just Shiny Torchic against 2 Litten. Here's a takedown from Litten. Is that enough? It is. And the round goes to Litten. Torchic with a bit of a misfire at the end. And now it's time for round 2. Torchic's back is against the wall. And now it has to suffer through those 2 Intimidates once again. Each Torchic is going to be -2 attack at the very beginning of the battle. And there we see it lowered from one of the Litten. Here comes the next Intimidate. Shiny Litten is going to drop the attack of both of these Torchics. So now these Torchic are starting off at -2 attack already from the get-go. That basically, I believe that effectively halves the attack stat once the calculations are done. Here's Purify. It is going to fail from regular Litten. Shiny Litten looking to follow up here, although Litten's already got the advantage. Here's a Shadow Ball, though. onto Shiny Torchic there. Will it do... Oh, it does a decent amount of damage for a Shadow Ball right there. Here comes Shiny Torchic, I should say, who's going to go for Mean Luck, which is a waste of a turn. Torchic needs to pull some kind of offense together right now because it needs to take down this Litten team. The Litten team definitely has the advantage right now with the physical attack. Although Scold from regular Torchic is going to be super effective. Massive damage to Shiny Litten there. That's the kind of thing Torchic needs to do. That's for everybody that said that Litten's Intimidate was going to break this tournament. Special attacks, and especially water-type special attacks, are the absolute undoing of Litten. I mean, the same with, you know, special rock-type moves, for as many as they are, and special ground-type moves. Here's a Smog, though, onto the regular Litten. Doesn't poison it, though, as Shiny Torchic looks to follow up here. Going to go for Teeter Dance and confuse everybody on the field except itself, but that does include its own partner, regular Torchic. So, this is a big risk play. Will it pay off? Will it pay dividends for this Torchic team? There's the two opponents and the one ally confused. Here is regular Litten, who is going to ignore the confusion for this turn. It's going to fire up that Metronome, and it's going to pull out a Power Trip. And that's going to hit the Shiny Torchic there for a little bit of chip damage. Here comes Shiny Litten, who is going to hit itself in confusion in a very dangerous position, puts itself in the danger zone as the Torchic team are picking up speed. This is looking like the pendulum has kind of swung the other way in this battle. It's all Torchic right now. Two very healthy Torchic versus one healthy Litten and a very, very worried Litten. Although Teeter Dance doesn't pay off here because regular Torchic hits itself in confusion. What will Shiny Torchic do? It's going to go for Bounce. It's going to hide up in the air, come back down on the next turn. So that's protecting it against the onslaught of the Litten team, who are attacking after Torchic because of the speed boosts. Snapping out of confusion, though, regular Litten is going to go for Psycho Shift, but it's avoided. It was on the Shiny Torchic. That was lucky for that, because that would have been a big old bust of a move right there. Here's Shiny Litten. It's going to fire off a String Shot, which isn't going to affect the Torchic that's in the sky, but it is going to slow down the regular Torchic, although it's kind of pointless because Torchic's got speed boost. But it does drop it by 2 stages, but then it's going to go straight back up by a stage. There you go. So there is speed boost for both the Torchic right there. I believe Shiny Torchic is now the fastest thing on the field. It is. It's going to go for that Bounce. Which Litten is it on? It's on the Shiny. Doesn't quite have enough to take it out. That's a testament to the double Intimidate. Wasn't enough to take down Shiny Litten. And here comes the confused Torchic, firing off with a Crunch, though, onto the regular Litten. Not enough, though. Again, because of the -2 attack. Shiny Litten is confused, but it's going to ignore it and go for the Metronome, and it's going to go for a takedown. That's how the last battle was won. Does huge damage to that Torchic, but knocks itself out with the recoil damage from the takedown. Now it's just one Litten versus 2 Torchic. What will Litten do here? What is it going to go for? Going to go for Fiery Dance, of course. Not very effective on the opposing Torchic, but still, decent amount of damage. Brings that Torchic into the danger zone, and of course, raises the special attack 1 stage of that Litten right there. The Torchic, though, both the Torchic are in a little bit of trouble right now. They are in a difficult situation. Except for the regular Torchic that is actually at almost full health, which I may have not noticed just then, but that's fine. I'm back on board. Cotton Spore is going to, I believe, slow down Litten. So that's not really worth using because Litten's already slower than both the Torchic combined. And here comes regular Torchic, ignoring that confusion once again. Still suffering with that confusion longer than anyone else. And it goes for Bone Club. That is super effective, but remember, -2 attack still does a decent amount of damage there on that Litten. Litten is less than half its max HP. And here comes Litten, firing back with a Gear Grind, but it's avoided by the Torchic. Oh my. And there's the Shiny Torchic speed boost, the regular Torchic speed boost. It's not looking good for Litten right now. This may go to a 3rd round because Litten is not in the best position. These Torchic are being very, very wily. They're figuring out Litten. Toxic Spikes, waste of a turn though. Just as I say they're being wily, they go and do something stupid like that. What will regular Torchic do as a follow-up here? It is still confused. It's going to ignore the confusion though. Bang out that Metronome, and it's going to go for a Skull Bash. Oh my, it's tucking in its head, getting ready for Skull Bash on the next turn. That is a very, very dangerous position for Litten to be in right now. What will Litten do in response? Goes for Nightshade, guaranteed 50 hit points of damage here. takes down the shiny Torchic. I'd have aimed for the Torchic that needs taking out, but Litten's going to have to take this Skull Bash at the end of this turn. Torchic is poised and ready with its speed boost. It's going to be one fast Skull Bash, but it is at minus... Oh, the confusion wears off as well, so no even risk of hitting itself. It's at -2 attack, so it didn't do as much damage as it could have done, but it still puts Litten in a very difficult situation right now. Litten is going to go for Headbutt to do as much damage as it possibly can. Only a bit of chip damage on that Torchic, though, so Torchic is still in the driver's seat right now. What will it do here? How is this battle going to end? I have no idea, but I'm giving it to Torchic right now. Goes for Bulk Up, going to increase its attack and its defense. Getting ready for something big, possibly? Maybe. But it gives Litten an opportunity, so it may have been a backfire for Torchic, because Litten now has a chance. Goes for Wonder Room. That is a chance wasted right there. That's unfortunate for Litten, but it's fortunate for Torchic. Defense and special defense are swapped, and up goes the speed of Torchic once again. Torchic now has control of this battle. What will it do here? Because it has a chance to take down Litten if it so pleases. It's going to go for Rest, which is a really weird play. Going to restore its HP. It wasn't even that far from its maximum HP right there, but now it guarantees that it's going to be asleep for 2 turns. Is this stupidity or is this overconfidence? I have no idea. But Litten now has minimum two opportunities. Goes for a Thunderfang on Torchic. Not much damage done at all with the Thunderfang, though. Maybe bust out some special attacks. This Litten is guaranteed to be able to do one more hit without that Torchic retaliating at all. And we see Pluck coming out from Litten onto Torchic. Again, a little bit of chip damage, not quite enough. Litten needs to take advantage of super effective moves if it really wants to take down this Torchic. Maybe try some special attacks as well. So here goes Litten. It's going to go for Sunny Day, increasing the power of fire type moves for the most part, but I don't know how that helps Litten right now. Torchic should be waking up on the next turn, I believe. It did wake up. It's going to go for the Metronome. What will it do here? What is Torchic planning? It's going to go for Head Smash. Oh my goodness, that's going to be super effective right there. And that takes down Litten. It's now 1 apiece. Torchic and Litten each have 1 point each. It is time to find out the decider. The battle has been equalized, and someone's going to the quarterfinal, sorry, to face Snivy. Who's it? Not Snivy, Pikachu. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Torchic versus Pikachu, or is it going to be Litten versus Pikachu? There's the double Intimidate from the get-go. So again, Torchic starting off at a disadvantage because they're both at -2 attack, which is not a good position to be in. Litten is going to start things off for the first turn or so because, of course, it's faster than Torchic, but Torchic does have speed boost. Here's Absorb, not very effective from Litten. Not the best of starts, but I guess it's damage. Hey, if this Torchic was sturdy, then it'd be useful. But here goes Shiny Litten with a Pluck onto the Shiny Torchic. Decent amount of damage, actually, with that Pluck. That was impressive. And here comes regular Torchic, starting things off for its team with a Volt Tackle. That is going to have some recoil damage, but it does a decent amount to the Shiny Litten there. Needed to double check. But, of course, not as effective. Here's a bounce, though, from Shiny Torchic. Loves being up in the air, does this Shiny Torchic. Going for the bounce once again. Of course, that the Head Smash, the Volt Tackle didn't do as much damage as it could have done because of the -2 attack drop. And there's the speed boost on both the Torchic. Here comes the bounce from the Shiny Torchic. The Torchic team is now faster than the Litten team. Gets the paralysis off the bounce onto that Litten. That could be a crippling factor for regular Litten in this battle. Here comes regular Torchic with Needle Arm. Because it's a grass type move, so it's not going to be very effective, but it still did a little bit of damage there to that Shiny Litten. Here comes regular Litten, ignoring the paralysis right now. Going for Blue Flare. It's not going to be very effective, but it is going to be a stab move. Huge damage for a not very effective move on that regular Torchic. Shiny Litten has flinched. That is very unfortunate for Shiny Litten right there. Doesn't get to move, but both the Torchic, again, increasing their speed even further. These Litten would be smart if they use Trick Room, because that would really cripple Torchic right now. And here comes regular Torchic. What will it do here? It's going to go for Mega Kick, but it's avoided. No chicken leg kicking today. And here comes Shiny Torchic to follow up on its partner's missed move. Going for Frost Breath. Won't be very effective because it's an Ice-type move, which is resisted by... it was critical hit, though, by Fire-type Pokemon. Here's Shiny Litten's response, and it's responding with Return. which should do a massive amount of damage. A huge damage to Shiny Torchic there. Looking great is the Litten team right now. Regular Litten's going to go for Pin Missile. It won't be very effective because it's a bug-type move, but if Litten can get all 5 hits, it should still do a decent amount of damage. Only 2 hits. That's unfortunate, but it does bring Torchic down to less than half its maximum HP, as we once again see the speed boosts, I think for the 3rd time? I think possibly. I think maybe the 3rd time. I'm losing touch. I'm losing my mind. Here comes Shiny Torchic, though, starting off the next turn. What will its move be? It's going to go for Fly, up in the air once again, hiding from the now slower Litten team, so it can avoid being attacked for this foreseeable turn. Regular Torchic's going to go for Discharge, which won't hit its partner that's in the air, will only hit the Litten team. Fantastic choice of move right there by Torchic. That was a beautiful play. Here comes Shiny Litten with Powder Snow, which is avoided by Shiny Torchic, who's in the air. It's only going to hit the regular Torchic for a tiny little bit of damage. Litten, regular Litten, what will it do here? It's going to go for Punishment, but it's avoided because it aimed for the Shiny Torchic. So the Torchic team is having a great round here. This is fantastic. I thought Litten had the advantage. I think I literally said it like a turn ago, and somehow Torchic are turning it around. Although the HP factor, I was about to say, should go to the Litten team, but now one of the Littens in the danger zone, so maybe the advantage isn't going to be there. Here comes Waterfall from Torchic. That will be super effective, even with the -2 attack. Down goes Shiny Litten. We're down to regular Litten versus both the Torchic here. But this Litten does have a decent amount of HP still. Goes for a Needle Arm. It won't be very effective on Torchic, but did a nice little bit of chip damage there. The Torchic team getting their speed boosts once again. This has been a brilliant battle so far. I still don't know which way it will go because Litten still has a great amount of HP left, but it is paralyzed, so that could factor in. Here comes Shiny Torchic. Where is it going? It's going Ice Shard. That's the direction it's going in. Ice Shard for a tiny bit of not very effective damage. Of course, regular Torchic is going to follow up immediately, as it's the second fastest thing on the field. Goes for Rain Dance. That is going to weaken the power of any Fire-type moves and increase the power of any Water-type moves, which is not good for any of these Pokemon on the field right now. Very, very risky play there. If Litten busts out a Surf or a Sparkling Aria right now, it's won. Goes for Heat Crash, which is going to be reduced by the rain, and of course is not very effective, so just chipping away at regular Torchic there, but not really gaining much of an advantage as we see the speed boost come into effect once again. What is going to happen in this battle? Where is this going to go? What will Shiny Torchic do? What's its plan? It's going to fire off with a Pollen Puff, which is not very effective, but still, it's damage. It's special attack damage. It did a great amount of damage, to be fair, as well, for a not very effective hit. Pollen Puff is a great move. Thank God Rabombi exists. Powder Snow, again, not very effective by Torchic, but still doing decent damage to that Litten. Litten's fully paralyzed and can't respond. This isn't looking good for Litten now. Now Litten is at the disadvantage. Regular Torchic is going to start the next turn with Aromatherapy, which isn't really going to do anything because no one on its team has a status condition. But here comes Shiny Torchic with the follow-up. Will it also make a mistake or will it deal some damage? Goes for Strength Sap, which is going to lower the attack stat of Litten, and it should restore the HP of Shiny Torchic. That's a brilliant move right there. Bringing it back up by about 50% there. Litten's still paralyzed and cannot move. This is absolutely tragic for Litten right now. Shiny Torchic, with all that HP restored, what's it going to go for? It's going to go for Extreme Speed. It is at -2 attack, but it still does a decent amount of damage there. Here comes regular Torchic. It could win this battle right now if it chooses. It's going to go for Sky Drop, takes Litten into the sky, so Litten's not going to be able to attack, even if it avoids the paralysis. This is not looking good. Shiny Torchic, of course, anything it does is going to miss Litten right now because Litten is in the sky. So that's lucky for Litten. Here comes the Sky Drop from the regular Torchic on the Litten. Doesn't quite kill it because of the -2 attack, so that's not great for Torchic. Litten is going to ignore the paralysis, and it's going to go for Draining Kiss, which is not very effective, but will restore some HP onto that Litten. So it's trying to clutch at any kind of HP restoring. 16 hit points left. The rain has stopped. Now it's over to the Torchic team. Can they finish off this Litten, or is Litten finally going to try and turn this battle around? We see Soak changing Litten to a Water type. Is that going to factor into anything? Is Litten going to suddenly bust out a super effective Stab, Surf, or a Hydro Pump? Torchic's going to go for Cross Poison. We might not get to find out. Down goes Litten, and Torchic moves on to face Pikachu in the quarterfinals. I thought Litten had it won, but wow, Torchic really turned things around in that second round and beyond. Well done, Torchic. That was very much a victory that nobody expected to happen. Ever since I revealed the brackets for this and explained that everyone's got their hidden abilities to make things more interesting than the boring primary abilities that starters get, everybody said Double Intimidate Litten is going to be a problem. Double Intimidate Litten is going to be completely broken because it's going to completely negate the other Pokemon's attack stat from the first turn before they even get a chance to move. Now, my argument against that was very much, what about special attacks, you know? They exist, but I understand where people's kind of grievance was coming from, but Torchic showed doesn't really matter if you drop someone's attack stat by 2 stages. If your defenses are shite, it's only a matter of time before you get taken out, basically, and that's what happened to Litten. Slowly but surely, the 2 Torchic took out the little Littens. That's what happened. So Litten, unfortunately, goes out. I'm a bit gutted because I was kind of Team Litten from the get-go. And now it's gone. So Torchic goes through to the quarterfinals. It will be facing Pikachu in the quarterfinals. That's going to be a very, very interesting matchup. And next week, we're going to find out who is the first Pokemon in quarterfinal 4. Is it going to be Totodile or is it going to be Chespin? And that's where I'm going to leave this episode of Metromania. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel like these wonderful people down here do, you can pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrinilium. And for live streams 5 days a week, including right now, if you're watching this when it goes live, head over to twitch.tv/AceTrinilium. But until next time, I'm Ace Trinilium. Keep on training.